Okay, it's not my normal saying. It's the exact opposite. Bad morning, bad afternoon, bad evening, wherever you are in the world watching this. I hope wherever you are right now, it's a gloriously beautiful summer's day. Join us whilst we have an absolute rant and hissy fit, a justified hissy fit, over Gareth Southgate and England's pathetic performance is all I can say. Ben, how are you, brother?
I had a brilliant light sleep last night. There was a thing that I really had an early night as well. It started about 8 o'clock, so I went to bed at 8 o'clock and I woke up. It was great sleep. It was a brilliant sleep. I've never been put to sleep quicker than watching Gareth Southgate's England football. That was the worst England performance I have ever seen. Ever. And I'm putting that over Iceland. I'm putting it above Iceland for the worst England performance ever. That's how boring it was.
Well, there you go.
I mean, literally no point of watching England.
Well, people see if you got. I think it's one of the worst I've seen. Definitely one of the worst I've seen in international tournaments. I've seen some poor England performances in my lifetime, but this was just so lethargic, so passionless, so gutless, everything. Let's just say hello to everyone in the chat. Aniban is here, and do you know what? Cole Palmer needs to start. We're going to go through everything, but you bang on the money here. What I will say, and I don't know if Ryan's in here yet, but there's another Chelsea player who, please God, doesn't become a Tottenham player. That everyone said was going to
wait to have my rant about Connor Mason.
Was going to make the difference, mate, and yeah, big difference. Andrew Gregory, good morning to you. Mr. Sweden, good morning to you. Ray the Yid, good morning to you. There was no bruise this morning, Ray, buddy. Mr. Dave Rodrigo Roadman is in the chat, but we're a company and a business that likes to reward their staff with the odd thing here and odd thing there. And if anyone has deserved a day off, it has been Dave. So Dave is having a nice chilled day with MZ. And relaxing. He will be back tomorrow. But based on that, and Ben had some stuff to do.
Basically, what happened was MZ did the garden, and Dave sat in the deck chair with a beer, with his summer hat on, Duck Dynasty style with his camo. It was great.
Basically, that was that. But Morning Brews will be back tomorrow. Evening Brews is back tonight with myself at 6 p.m. UK time. Andrew, I've seen your question, Mr. Gregory. We're going to save questions to the end, but that is a great question. Amir is in the house. Bukatov, Yontov, I hope you're good. Philly, I don't know if you've seen, but that's not Johnny. That's not Johnny. But I hope you're good. Tweak, good morning to you. Audio, good morning to you. Tom, my roomie, I hope you had a good day at work. You chose a good Canada game to miss. It was a boring game, but a certain Jonathan David got the job done. And now it's the playoff game against Chile on Saturday at 11 p.m. your time, mates. If you're not working Saturday at 11 p.m., we'll be rooming up together to watch that. Morning to the one and only Akbar, the number one Akbar. Get that fraud Arteta out of my club. I could say the same with Southgate out of my nation. Yeah. That's what a new name should be. Who else?
Literally deport him. Deport
out and about. Out and about talking Tottenham. Big up to you. Scott Hyman. Big up to you. Pete in Australia. A decent time for you. Good morning, evening to you. And of course, Craig Sullivan is there. So before we break it down, and I'll just so people remember, the way this show will go is the negatives, which will be extensive, the positives, yes, special mentions, Gareth Southgate. So normally there is a bullshit sandwich where you say bad news, 2 bits of good news, and then bad news. Is a deconstructed, as they say in the chef's game, bullshit sandwich.
Sandwich.
Exactly. So we will be doing that, but we're going to have some fun at the beginning. And big up to Clement, big up to Zach, big up to Ronnie and everyone in the chat. before we do that, we want your participation in this. Ben found an interesting tweet or status, so we're going to bring this up. Ben, over to you.
I was looking on Facebook like I usually do,
Facebook.
getting bombarded with all the Temu adverts and all the other companies. All companies are available. But I got a wonderful post that from the lads over at Football Home and Away. So everyone in chat, I would like you to note things that you think are more interesting than Gareth Southgate's England team. They have made a list that goes as follows: watching paint dry, playing FIFA, James Milner's life, watching golf, ham and ready salted Tesco meal deal, no drink, doing the washing up, playing as PSG on Football Manager, Coldplay, just in general, updating your CV, filing your tax return, Michael Owens commentating, going shopping with your significant other, and being in a doctor's waiting room. I want you to know what things do you think are more interesting than watching
I will add to that. One of my biggest hates that give me goosebumps like that is when someone puts their I've got goosebumps to say it, fingers down a chalkboard. I would rather listen to that for 90 minutes than watching England under Gareth Southgate play football. And I have to say, if we get the Dutch, oh dear. There's going to be a bit of Levy talk on Evening Brews, I can assure you, because we've won a trophy today. And Spurs
we won a trophy!
Spurs are delighted to announce it. We've won something.
Of Net Zero, you'll never sing that.
Champions of Net Zero.
You'll never sing that. You'll never sing that.
Champions
of Net Zero, you'll never sing that.
Yep, but they will fly to Australia 3 days after a season for one game. So yeah, well done with your Net Zero bollocks. But this is an England show, and before we get into it, good morning, Mrs. Ben. Good morning. Yep, that is a more exciting thing than England. So, Ben, as always, my co-host always goes first. So let's start where it belongs, as we mean to go on.
Yeah.
The negatives.
The distinct lack of energy. The entire reason Gareth Southgate put Conor Gallagher, or as I now call him, or I'm now calling him Conor Mason, because he is just a blonde Ryan Mason in every way, shape or form. The reason you put Conor Gallagher in your team is he runs about a lot and puts some tackles in. He did absolutely nothing from minute 1 to minute dot the entire time he was on the pitch. I hate this player. I hate watching him play football. Everything about Conor Gallagher screams Sam Allardyce, boring, nothing, hoof the ball up top, do absolutely nothing. If Tottenham signed Conor Gallagher this summer, after watching him at the Euros, I have no idea what we're going to do next year. He is so bad. Like, how do people rate this guy? He is absolutely shocking. No passion, no quality, no technical ability. He's just a bloke that's there just to run about. Literally, he is just a guy that runs. He might as well go to a local school. There's a couple of schools now, and just say, "Go on, boy, run about a bit." That was Cole Palmer's role yesterday. Just run about. Have Kobe Mainu, who's 18 years of age, did more in the game than he did. And he's supposedly Chelsea's captain.
So
I don't want him anywhere near my football club. I don't want him. Deport Conor Gallagher as well. Whilst you're deporting Gareth Southgate, deport Conor Gallagher. Deport him. He is an awful footballer. Get rid of him.
So I'm just going to bring up when we talk, you spoke about Kobe Mainu and Gallagher. I will go around on Gallagher, but Gallagher in 45 minutes, 0% crosses completed, 0% tackles won, 85% pass accuracy. Kobe Mainu in 45 minutes, 100% crosses completed, 100% tackles won, 97% pass success. Obviously people know on this channel I have a bet with Ryan Isaacs, the stalker of this man, that he's not coming to Tottenham. And anyone that wanted him now, Ryan was trying to have it out of me, going, well, this goes to show he can't play in this type of football in an Ange and Postecoglou system. He'll be a ball. No, you had your opportunity. It doesn't matter. You had your opportunity to represent your country and play. Let's face it, this wasn't France or Argentina. This wasn't Spain. This was Slovenia. He was listen, we're going to go through it. That every single player, apart from Zach mentioned a few, and when we get to special mention, I'm actually going to use what he said because he's bang on. But this Conor Gallagher hype, I hope, is now done, because that, quite frankly, was absolutely appalling. I can't stress enough how badly I do not want this man to come. I think if I don't know I'm being serious here right now. I don't know why I want more, Eze to come or him not to. That's how, honestly, I just cannot see. Now, listen, this man loves Conor Gallagher, and there are people, listen, each to their own, and everyone can think that they can play in certain positions. And like I said, I love Morgan Gibbs-White. A lot of people disagree with me. I've been saying that I'd be happy if Jonathan David does come in. A lot of people will disagree with me. Everyone has their right to their opinion on a player, but I just think he had his opportunity to show the world or Euros what he can do. A lot of this goes on Southgate because it was the one change. It needed to be wholesale changes, and I do mean wholesale changes, and he made one. Yep, I agree.
If we get rid of Højbjerg for Conor Gallagher, Arthur Højbjerg has been one of the better players of Denmark this tournament.
Yep, he's right. He's right. But this is where we've got to. I think Conor Gallagher, I mean, we've still got to do special mentions. I think he might even get a special mention for being so crap.
I love ranting about Conor Gallagher. Or Conor Mason.
Okay, so the next one I'm going to go on about, or negatives, mate, and I have to say, Pete, I'm going to say, Pete, do you know what, mate? I've been saying this for a while, Peter. I've been saying for a while, like with Tottenham, who think they're one of the big six, we're not. It's the big five. We're just there because of the years we've been in the top flight and because of our history. We're a big 5+1. We're the third wheel, or should I say the sixth wheel. And people got to realise England are not as good as they think they are. We are not as good. We have all the talent, all the hype. I actually put a tweet out last night about Gareth Southgate saying, just like what he said about Calvin Phillips. I said, I think we're struggling to find a replacement for Sir Alf Ramsey. We're trying new things, but it's just not working. But I'm going to say, again, the hugest negative, even more than Conor Gallagher, is we have this plethora, and I'm going to use a posh word for me, plethora of attacking talent, that if this team just went for it, and the strings have been cut, and it was just like, off you go and do what you do best, this team could do stuff with the right manager and an attacking formation and attacking. We were holding on to a 0-0 draw yesterday. Yeah. It was kind of like Conte against AC Milan.
Yeah.
When we were holding off a 1-0 defeat. It's like the whole...
Conte at least had an excuse, Aki, with all the injuries we had.
Mate, the whole style of play. And just another... Actually, forget that. I'm going to let you have two negatives if you got them. he should be sacked alone for only taking Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
A manager that came in and said, do you know what? I'm picking players on form, not their name. He's hardly played for United.
Yeah.
You look at that left side. You look at that left side. He left out Chilwell. He left out Mitchell. He left out a few left backs. Is Mitchell the Crystal Palace one? It is, isn't it?
Tyrick Mitchell.
He left out a few. He left out Grealish. He left out Maddison. He left out Rashford. All that can operate on that left wing, on that left side. He's like, we'll just put a right back there, or at best we'll put a player that can't play in that position over Anthony Gordon, who I would say was the English best left winger of the season by a mile. I didn't even, you know what? I haven't even looked at the stats. No shots on target. They're honestly, big up to you, Ben. Going round for a bit because I'm going to go nuts.
I'm happy for you to go nuts because you going nuts gives us view. But we've managed to make Bundesliga Player of the Season Harry Kane with 40 goals, average. La Liga Player of the Year, Jude Bellingham, average. Premier League Player of the Year, average, in Phil Foden. I don't understand it. Declan Rice, I think Declan Rice was named as Arsenal's Player of the Year.
Yeah,
one of the best teams of the Premier League. Made average. He gives Gordon 2 minutes.
Colin.
2 minutes.
Cross the nose here.
Anthony Gordon 2 minutes. He's if I was Rico Henry or Tyrick Mitchell, I'm a decent fan of Tyrick Mitchell, and I've been even more emboldened to say it after the absolute the brilliance of Mark Guehi at this tournament. If I was Tyrick Mitchell and Southgate, if Southgate gets another tournament, I think Southgate won't manage another tournament after this.
Oh, he's not.
Oh, he's not going to get one. If I was Tyrick Mitchell, I'd never want to play for England again after this. After being overlooked for an old, injured Luke Shaw, who's not played an entire year at Manchester United, I would refuse, like Ben White has done, I would refuse to play. I'd refuse to play for England. I'd look for any other. I'd create my own country so I didn't have to play for England.
So you know what? Tom81, where is he? He just put a comment in. I'm just going to bring it up. Where is it? Where is it? I've got to try and find it now. Let's not mess up. Palmer done more in 10 minutes than Saka did in the second half.
2.5 games.
Mate, I've got an even better stat from Statman Dave. This is just embarrassing. Despite coming on at the 89th minute, Anthony Gordon created more chances against Slovenia than Saka, Conor Gallagher, and Jude Bellingham combined.
Yep.
The guy came on in the 89th minute. I have to say as well, if we're talking negatives as well, I am going to do this. And I don't know if he's in here. First of all, I want to say as well, in a hype, you left a really good message that I promised to get back to you, and I haven't got back to you yet because I've been so busy, but I promise you I will make time to get back to you with that excellent comment because it deserved a response. So apologies for me getting back delayed to you.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the last game when we did Denmark, there was someone, I can't remember the name, who put super chats in saying that Bellingham is overhyped. And Bellingham listen, I don't think he's overhyped at all. I do not. I think he's an extraordinary talent. I think he's an exceptional talent. But the last 2 games, he's been woeful. And listen, what you got to remember is there are England players, and I'd say Tottenham players as well, but we're talking about England, that they sometimes get a pass because they're who they are and it's the name, and you can't say anything bad about them because then everyone piles on you. What are you talking about? Jude Bellingham has had an exceptional season for Real Madrid. He has gone on and won the league, the Champions League. There is no doubt he is going to be an England legend. There's no doubt he's going to go on to win an amazing amount of trophies. But yesterday, he was shocking. Shocking.
It's down to the system, Aki. It's down to the system. It's totally down to the system. You can't say, because we've talked about Jude Bellingham. Harry Kane is the best English striker of all time,
Yep.
According to goals, he's got the most. He's England's record goal scorer. Yet he's looking absolutely awful. And you can say, oh, he's lost a yard of pace. He scored 40 goals last year, Harry Kane. He scored 40 goals. And even he's being made to look crap. Declan Rice is being made to look crap. It's all down to the manager. It's all down to the manager. He is playing a system that nobody understands. And you can see by the body language that they don't like this manager anymore. Because he's taken none of the responsibility for how they're playing. He will not change it. He will not take
responsibility, Ben. He has taken one thing I will say is he's come out and said, don't go at the players, come at me.
Well, the fans aren't going at the players. They're booing him.
Oh, no, I know that. But he's coming out to make sure that he gets the brunt of everything, which he is already. But he's not hiding behind anything. Where you are right is, as a manager, you should be right. I need to change this up.
Yeah.
I need to change this up. Because I will tell you now, and I'm sure the 166 people watching right now will say, if it is the Dutch, who, let's face it, the Dutch have not been great, but we get them on Sunday, peak total football and Cruyff Dutch.
Mickey van der Ven scoring a hat-trick at the weekend.
Mate, listen, I don't care. We're not winning it. We're not winning it.
But it goes back to the thing I complained about with Ange last season, Aki. Inverted fullbacks does not work. It doesn't work. You're playing Kieran Trippier, who's England's best crosser of a ball, in a position where he can't cross a ball. That's the only thing Trippier's good at. He's not pacey. He's not the greatest defender. He's not someone... But what he can do is from a standing position on a right-hand side, he can whip a ball that will hit any target. He is he's an artillery gunner.
Yep.
And you're not allowing him to be able to cross a ball in.
Yep.
It's mind-blowing.
It is. And I will say, thank you, Chris, for putting this. There's 166 in the chat, but 72 of you on YouTube. We've got loads of stuff planned coming up once England are out. There's going to be so much new stuff coming on Tottenham on tour. Some very exciting stuff as well. Some very exciting stuff. And we're trying to get out there and grow the channel. And you guys, who are always incredible supporters, can be big, big helps. And just by pushing that like button does so much for the channel in support. So much so, I have never seen this name before from Daniel Bennett. Have you seen it on the channel, Ben?
No, I've never seen it.
Which obviously means your great work in liking and getting the show out there has really well and truly started to do the work. So please, first of all, Danielle, welcome to the channel. If you have been in the chat before and I haven't seen the name, I apologize. But because of your great work with liking and everything, it makes a huge difference. But back to the show. Big up, Bertie, as well. I've just seen you in the building, mate. I hope you're good and well. Right, this will be a short... Right. Go on, Ben.
There's only one positive for me, and it's a special mention. So I'm gonna what's it called? Add them both in. Mark Wehi again. Mark Wehi was fantastic again last night. I think I want to sign him for Tottenham.
I said this last season. I said it last season.
I think Mark Wehi is incredible. I think he's so brilliant. He was the only player I can say he only made one mistake in that game and he recovered it and he took a yellow card for the team. Mark Wehi is the only positive for me in that entire game. Mark Wehi is fantastic. And I would if we don't go for Calafiori, who is my number one target as a centre-back to compete with Mickey van der Ven, I want Mark Wehi. I want Mark Wehi at Spurs. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I've been really impressed with him this tournament.
There are two players. The two players you mentioned aren't coming to play second fiddle. As much as I'll take either of them. Let's be serious. But I'm going to bring up Zach's comment.
Yeah.
Because Zach has got the three players that deserve it. I actually must say I was impressed with Mainu, although I really, really did want to see Wharton come on.
Yeah.
I want to see what this Wharton could do.
I want to see Wharton at left back. Wharton at left back.
Well, Ian Wright said even put Saka there.
No, don't put Saka there.
Mate, listen, I would try anything. You've got an order coming from Craig, Ben.
I don't have skinny milk, please, mate. I don't do Southgate milk.
So yeah, I was very impressed with Mainu. I really want to see Wharton, but let me just bring up Zach's comment again. Palmer looked good. I've seen in the comments as well, Jarrod Bowen and Gordon. I said this with, I think it's when I was with Danny, who will be joining me on Evening Brews at 1 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. UK time today. I want to see Gordon left wing, 10 Foden, 8 Bellingham, 6 Rice. Away you go. Away you goddamn go. But you've got all these players here that are on that bench. And do you know what? I will say England have got a very strong bench. When you look at it, they have the potential to go, right, we can make changes that can make a huge impact on games. Yet we don't. I am sure that he's got to make changes. But before we go on to special mentions, because we'll just talk about a couple of the players that were poor, then we'll get on to the main part of this show, which is going to be an absolute annihilation. Big up, Bertie. Oh, God, I hope not, because I've already seen people saying, can you imagine if Southgate's the next Tottenham manager? If Southgate became the next Tottenham, it's not going to happen. But if it did, I promise you one thing, I will be on a plane home and I will not leave until leaving.
I almost want Southgate to be the Tottenham manager.
I will be home and I will not leave until Levy goes. I do not care.
Southgate if that happens, the Tottenham manager. Tottenham fans would root Levy out. There's no way.
I really don't know, mate. I still, to this day, they'll find something. Big up, boy, chicks. Is Jonathan David going to happen? We're going to talk a bit more about that, Howie, on Evening Brews. So we will talk about that because this is all about England.
Ange would be a brilliant England manager. I think Ange would be a brilliant England manager.
Don't say that. Oh, there's another positive. There is a huge goddamn positive. I know a few people that are out there. One of my mates is out there from Canada. But one of my very nearest and dearest, Billy Carnes, is out there. And Billy, bless him, has had health issues all year and everything. He's gone to every single Spurs game of the season gone. And he's always wanted to go to watch England in a tournament or an international tournament. And he's been in Germany for all 3 England games. The man's support, as well as all other England, but Billy is a very special person to me. And the fact that these English fans have paid thousands of pounds, you got to remember as well, they've given up summer holidays, their holiday allowance from work, their holiday time with their family, all gone. The England fans are always special, and they do not deserve this. They do not deserve it. Let's see what else got. Oscar P says, good morning. Positive, correct. Yeah. Colin Crossamano, right, boys. How about a reality check? Top of the qualifiers, top of the group. What more do you want? Honestly, with that, we can't really say much. But this is England. This is, and like I said before, we're not as big as we think we are. Yeah. We do this all the goddamn time. But you know what? Getting top of the group is top of the group. Like I said, if we won the Euros playing boring football, I am going to take it. If I had a crystal ball and said I have to endure this all the way through, but we win it, I am going to take it. Yeah. But the talent, even last year, we drew against Scotland. It was poor. We then beat Germany. I can't remember who we played in the next group game. But here we've gone backwards. We've won 1-0 and scraped by. A boring 1-1. And an even worse, we're going backwards. Califayo, exactly. Craig saying it's over. Palace go for Bellingham. Yeah, if only. Let's talk about Job. But yeah, right. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Phil, you know Billy well from the protests. You're right, Elite. Positive, goddamn right. I cannot wait, mate. I am more looking forward to Canada playing Chile on Sunday than I am England, whoever, on Saturday. Ben, you just went at something.
That's a great comment.
Let's have a look at Jay for one. Southgate made one change to start 11 in the group stage. Trent throwing him under the bus. 100. Listen,
he's thrown him under the bus.
He's not just done that. He's come out. Well, the whole problem was that he does this after having the nerve of saying, Calvin Phillips. I must admit, every single time in the Scotland Yard, we're like, what would Calvin Phillips do?
It's like, what would Brian Boitano do in South Park?
I completely agree. Trent has been thrown under the bus. Again, I mean, I keep saying J15 or I5. I don't know if you agree with me. I say what we did with Phil Foden is exactly what we did with Paul Scholes, with Lampard and Gerrard. This England team is a goddamn mess, but that is a scrub. That's the new name for him. That's the new name for him.
I'd like to call him waistcoat.
No, I like that more. I like that more. But you know what? I don't think there's any special. Let's just get into the crux of things. Let's just get into it. Off you go, Ben.
This is the worst England manager. This man is the worst England manager I've ever seen. And
so one second before you do that, because we've done it this way. Andrew Gregory put a question in, and people in the chat. There's 181 of you. Just simply put the manager's surname, and it's a great question. Is Southgate the worst England manager since Graham Taylor? Or who would you say is worse, Taylor, Southgate, or is he the worst England manager? Let's see what the chat say. But off you go, Ben, back to Southgate.
This man is worse than Roy Hodgson. He's flat out worse than Roy Hodgson. Say what you want about Roy, as I'm going to call him Roy, because that's what he likes to be called. He didn't have a crop of players this good. He had a few really good players, but he had an aging England team that was on its way down with players like Rooney going out, and that era from that. This manager has taken over the most talented crop of players England have ever had, and I include the golden generation.
What about this man?
Oh.
I think he's up there. I think honestly, there's people putting Roy or undoubtedly it's Southgate.
Yeah.
Your darling has asked a question.
Yes. That's why she is the one. Here we go.
Is he better than Brian Hill, eh?
No, Southgate is not better than Brian.
Brian Hill to be the next England manager.
The first person in the history of this stream where is not better than Brian Hill.
There you go. But yeah, I honestly, you look at it, we've got undoubtedly Southgate, Roy, Southgate by far the worst. Southgate worst, more so for the players he has. Here we go. Michael, we've got one of your, we've got one thing star that you said, Brain, thank you. That's a good name for me. Brain, I know you spelled that wrong, brother. Brian, Ben, we scored more goals than England in a group of death with no names from the MLS and Turkish League. What the fuck is Southgate doing? I'm Polish and getting pissed with it. Yeah, mate, listen, there are a lot of people like yourself, Michael, from around the world that follow England because of their affiliation with Tottenham or whatever team, Premier League teams people support. And England, the best league in the world, and we have this array of talent.
Pathetic manager.
Array of talent, and I don't understand. Listen, I'm actually going to stand with who put Steve McLaren in again, because I'm going with that guy. Who was it that put McLaren?
He didn't have a great crop of players, Brian. He had Scott Carson in goal.
But that was because of injuries, mate. I don't care. England should not ever not qualify for a tournament like we did in USA '94 with Graham Taylor. At least Southgate has got us to all the tournaments.
It's because he's got a better team.
Yeah, no, mate. No. Chris, if it was mate. Steve McLaren.
He should never have been up for the job.
He had Wayne Rooney. He had He
didn't have the back four that this manager has. He doesn't have the midfield this manager has.
Well, mate, I think that's open for debate. Do you know what? I'm actually going to bring up Steve McLaren's England team. What World Cup?
Yeah,
Steve McLaren's World Cup. Steve McLaren, England.
I'm going to bring it up as well.
Okay, I'm just going Steve McLaren, England squad. Okay, Steve McLaren for the upcoming Euros in 2008. Here we go. So I'm going to read out the names that he had. Obviously, they're not going to be. So let's have a look. Oh, amazing. First thing we start off is with the England goalkeeper. England's number 1, Paul Robinson. Paul Robinson, Foster, Carson.
Yeah.
Defence, Gary Neville, Micah Richards, Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, Jonathan Woodgate, Jamie Carragher, Ashley Cole, Phil Neville. Now, I don't care what people think, that is a damn good defence. You got Neville, Cole, Terry, Ferdinand.
They didn't play well together, though, Aki.
Doesn't matter if they didn't play well. That defence, you should be able to get a shot. Midfield, Gerrard, Hargreaves, Lampard, Aaron Lennon.
That is a better midfield than we've got.
Aaron Lennon, Scott Parker, Michael Carrick, Kieran Dyer, Stuart Downing, and Johnson from. Oh, this is going to be the strikers. Andy Johnson, Rooney, Jermaine Defoe, and Darren Bent. Now, maybe not the best strike force, but I'm sorry, that team, that defence
is better. The defence is better, and the midfield you could say is on par with some of the players we've got.
So yeah, I am going Gareth. I am going Steve McLaren.
I think it's neck and neck.
It's a tough one. But let's go back.
Gareth Southgate has England's top goal scorer ever.
Yeah. Well, you could say that with not that he knew at the time, but McLaren had Rooney.
But it was much. It was because Rooney had a longer career, didn't he?
He did. Listen, it's big up, James Love Spurs. Good to see you in here. Kate, my darling, is here. Tony Bones. I'm seeing all new names, which is yeah, you're right. It is it's great. I'm seeing new names in the chat. So thank you.
Like, comment, subscribe.
We're in a really good place right now, and we're I blame it was
it's all Brennan Johnson's fault.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? This is the thing. The Shubs has been called out. So I'm sure Southgate is getting in the media today. I'm sure he is. But do you know what I've been saying? When it comes to me with Gareth Southgate, I am just hoping that when England get knocked out,
yeah,
and I get up again, no, that's a different thing. When England are eliminated,
yeah,
I hope and pray to God England come out or Southgate come out as quickly as Roy Hodgson did in France and goes, I'm done. Before he gets on the plane, not I'm pondering my future or I'm going to speak to the FA. England go out. Press comes out.
What's it called? Analysing the situation.
Monitoring the situation.
Buzzwords.
Start registering interest in new matches.
Registering our interest.
He has. What I will say, and no one can argue with never in England's lifetime has a manager gone from back-to-back semi-finals and finals. So Gareth Southgate, as an England fan, I hadn't seen England in a final. It'd been my dream. Many of the people in this chat wouldn't have seen England in a final. We got that. We also
bottled that final because of
him. Wait, listen, there's no denying what happened there, Ben, but we got there. It's like when we got to the Champions League final. At the end of the day, yes, that penalty, but the thing is, we got there. I never thought, if you had told me before Pochettino, Tottenham will be in a Champions League final, I'd have gone, yeah, a good one. So Southgate has got us to a semi-final and final in his first two competitions. Obviously, the last this Euros and the World Cup, huge disappointment, but he got us there. So if there's any kind of thing I've got to give Southgate anything, he did that. But now, as the late, great Claude would say on AFTV, it's time to go. It's time to go because this, I just honestly, I cannot see how he gets out of this one.
Yeah.
I honestly, you look at the players that are coming through right now, and you would say that England have a great array of talent.
Yeah.
And it is attacking. It is an attacking team. And with the World Cup coming out over here, which I cannot wait for, we need to start looking at attacking managers to come in and say, right, look, the players that we've got at the moment are better suited to attacking football. Let's go and get a manager that can get the best out of them. Exactly. See,
it wasn't peak golden generation.
Mate,
it was not peak.
Mate, I think it was. I think it, mate, if you look at it, when we had Sven-Goran Eriksson,
we didn't have a striker.
Mate, there was room. Listen,
Harry Kane. We got England's.
Oh, no, mate, that's what you're saying. We've got Harry Kane. We've got an attacking team. If we had an attacking manager right now, I think if we had, I still stand by. If we had Eddie Howe, we'd win the damn thing, or at least get to a final because of the attacking play.
We had a peak golden generation. We had a
that team
golden generation was 2006 with David Seaman in goal. That was a golden generation.
Oh, you can say that. You
That's
can say
a golden
that.
generation.
But when you say, mate, it's a golden generation of back four, Neville, Terry, Ferdinand, Ashley Cole, you're not beating
I would
that.
agree. The defence is better than what we've got now. I would 100% agree with that.
Mate,
But I would say our midfield is more balanced. than that golden generation was.
Yeah, but look at our midfield. Look what they're doing under Southgate.
Southgate.
Oh no, there's no doubt about that. Mate, that's no doubt about it. But
The Kauff and Dagul have a domestic about the worst England managers. Who would have
mate,
thought?
do you know what? Honestly, this is what we got to remember as well. You take that England job,
Yeah.
as great as it is, and all managers say it's an honour to play for or manage your country. It's an honour, and you couldn't turn it down. You've got to think long and hard about it, because as much of an honour it can be,
It's also
like you look at it. Please God, Eddie, I want Eddie Howe as next manager.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if there's any Newcastle fans watching. I actually wanted Eddie Howe to come to Tottenham over Nuno. But the only thing I had about him was how would he handle the bigger egos and the bigger club demands. But he's shown it at Newcastle, he can handle it. I would love him to become manager. But if I was Newcastle manager, and you think, you know what, I've got the richest owners in the world, whatever you think of them, they're trying to do things in a certain way. I'm adored in Newcastle. I'm adored. What's more, is it better I stay here where my family is settled?
If I was him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. At the moment, I would not want to take the England job.
No.
I really, really wouldn't want to do this with England. It's really, really sad. It's really sad where we've become. But what I will say, there's someone here saying, mate, Euro 90, mate, can you imagine right here, right now, if I could prop a manager from England past and put him here?
Terry Venables,
God bless him.
Yeah.
Someone that's obviously very, very close to everyone at this channel and in the chat that's Spurs. Terry Venables with this team
would win it.
My God.
Would win it.
My God. I'd say we're definitely in the final. And then it's whether the England jinx came. But if Terry Venables was in charge of this team, we would be absolutely flying. But you know what? Let's get through some of the questions. Just want to say again, over 200 of you in here. So thank you very much for joining us. If you have any questions, put Q or at TOT.
Yeah.
And we'll try to answer them. But try to keep it England related. Yeah. Evening Brews will be there with me and Danny today at 1 p.m. And looking forward to that one. So we've already done Andrew Gregory's one. Zach. So here we go. Tom81 has come up with a few examples of what's more exciting than watching England. Filling your car, having your teeth pulled out, doing the COVID test, risk assessment training, hoovering, hanging up the washing, and a rear end examination. I'd actually say a rear end examination where the doctor is Wolverine.
Yeah,
Would be,
or Edward Scissorhands.
yeah, one of the two. And then the final one, unless we get any come in, is I would have got. Listen, I am a huge fan, and I mean a huge fan of Gerard Bowen. I actually think he is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. I think he's magnificent.
I love Gary Barron as a footballer.
Do you know what? I think Saka may need, and I'm not just saying this because of Arsenal, because I think he was superb in the first game or the first half. If we're gonna, do you know what? We talk about Tottenham and how we need squad rotation to keep game management and whatever. These guys just look exhausted as well. Yeah. They look absolutely exhausted and need a change. And if we play this team that played against Slovenia,
I do need to put my hands up. Seaman did retire in 2002. The golden generation was 2002. We had David James was in goal for 2006, wasn't he?
There you go.
The World Cup in Germany.
Yes, he was. No, it was Tom Green to start. No, that was 2010. Sorry, that was 2010. Rob Green. But yeah,
Rob Green.
I think I would start. Would you start? Would people in the chat? Next game, who would you start as your two wingers? I am going to agree with Peter, and I am going to say Bowen and Anthony Gordon. I wonder what other people in the chat would think about starting as the wingers. Would you agree, Ben?
100% agree with you, Ahi. 100% agree with you.
Yep, 1 p.m. Yeah, well done, Chris. Thank you for doing that. 1 p.m. my time Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time for evening brews. Rodrigo's agreeing. That's where they go. Yep. Gordon and Saka for Oscar Peters. MZ, 100% agree. I'm sure that's my.
Cole Palmer's got to play. Actually, no, I'm going to retract it and say Anthony Gordon and Cole Palmer on the right wing.
Okay, that's yep. Tommy, you are bang on, mate. Yeah. You are bang on. We got Bob Marshall. Not one player can hold their head high. Mate, Mark Wehi, I would say, is the only one. The only one, Bob, that could say it. Tony Bones is saying Eze and Bowen. I'd love to see Eze, mate, but do you know what? I just don't want him to get injured.
Yeah.
I always am club over country, and that will never change. As much as I would like to see Eze, I think Eze could do something. I just don't want to run the risk of him getting injured. That's my. Do I think Eze could do the job? Absolutely. But I care more about his health and being fit to join Tottenham. Please, God, unless we screw that one up.
Oh, we're screwing that up.
So you're going Cole Palmer and Gordon, Ben.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get that.
Got to try something else.
I can get that. And then here we go. From Twig 1978, big up, man. Do we go for another foreign manager next? No English managers have experience winning on a non-domestic level. It's a good point. I mean, Ben, where are you? Do you reckon England will go foreign or should go foreign?
I would go foreign if we can't get Eddie Howe as the England manager. If we can get Eddie Howe, I want Eddie Howe as the England manager. But if we can't get him, I would go for a foreign manager. There is no English manager around at the moment that I think can do. They'll promote from within. That's what the FA do. They want another yes man. They'll bring up Carsley from the under-21s.
So one thing I will say, Carsley, like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, conveniently you have Ryan, you have Mr. Gallagher Hay, but just remember 8 Dagul and go to the very, very beginning of the show where you can see unbridled slating of your the person you stalk and hold dear to your heart. Just remember 8 Dagul. But yeah, I look at it. Lee Carsley, it is Lee Carsley we were just talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's got a very, very good reputation at management level. I know Republic of Ireland wanted him. I can see him being an England manager of the future.
I think they'll go for Graham Potter next.
Well, put it this way, this is what you got to look at. If we look at the managers, both English and foreign, that are out of work, you've got Potter, England. You've got obviously Poch. I'm going to throw a name out there that I would love us to get, but he won't come to us. He's just left Liverpool. He needs a rest, he's just said. I think he's holding out for Germany. Jurgen Klopp, I think with this team, Jesus Christ. And with English, yeah, if only, mate. If only, Eddie's brother. If only. I don't know where England go from here. I don't. Poch, we all know he bottles it. I have to say, with Poch, the thing that goes against me wanting Poch is we've all seen Poch has a rigorous pre-season friendly, pre-season training, and drills them. And I don't think he can get them playing Poch style of football, only having them for like 10 days at a time. So I just can't see. Yeah, Bob, big up to you. We made it struggle. Guehi only because he hasn't made. Mate, I think Guehi has been has done very, very well. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. If that's how you're viewing it, fair play to you. But I think, mate, do you know what? There's another England player. Well said, Oscar. Harvey Elliott is going to be a start. He'll get the best out of Trent. He will be available. I don't think he'll come to England. He's just left. I just can't see it. But I can't see Poch having the same effect. Look what he got Chelsea doing right near the end. Yeah. They finally got to understand, just like we did with his first season, where it took till Christmas till we started plodding along in the second half. I just cannot see him being able to get England to his fit or his style of play across. What do you reckon?
Poch wanted the Tottenham job before he got the Chelsea job, but he never got the call. I don't think he'll make that mistake again. I think Poch wants that Tottenham job. That's the job I think he's looking out for.
He can want it all he wants. I don't want him.
Well, you don't want him, but the club are different, actually.
Listen, I've said it before.
Unless you've been in charge of the recruitment for the managers this entire time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Then I want my cut.
No, listen, all I will say with this is I said it before we got Postecoglou. Whilst Daniel Levy is at the helm, I do not want this man. I do not want Pochettino back in any stretch of the imagination. Then he went to Chelsea, and whether Levy's there or not, I don't want him. Period. It's literally. I don't want Poch back, but I don't think getting back to England. I don't think he can do what he wants. And do you know what, Tony? You put in a good thing here as well. It's got to the point I would actually start Trent at right back.
Yeah.
Because we need his passing. Walker, don't get me wrong, has been the best right back in England history, but there's certain times where certain players are better for certain games. But how do people feel that they're in the chat? Against Holland or whoever it may be, let's see what people think. Would you start Walker? Or would you start Trent Alexander-Arnold? Because I think I would go Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. I love Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, Ben, you? Hey, Leo, I hope you're good, brother. Good to see you.
Hi, Leo!
So yeah. Who would you go for?
I'd still go with Carl Walker. He's not
You'll go Carl.
I'll still go with Carl. He's not done enough to drop out the team. There are players that have done far worse than him need to be dropped out that team. I would play Trent at left back.
No, mate. Do you know what? I think I'd rather Kyle at left back. Like I've said, I personally think that there's certain games where certain players, whether they're like with Anthony Gordon is a better left winger than Phil Foden, but Phil Foden is a better player.
Yeah.
I go for Anthony Gordon at left wing because he's better in that position.
Yeah.
I think certain games will call for certain players, and I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is much more suited if we're playing the Dutch than Kyle Walker, and we're going to need him. We're going to need him for set pieces. We're going to need him because of his passing. We've seen how poor the midfielder's been. I would go see Eddie's has gone. Eddie's has gone Gomez left back. I forgot about Gomez and Trent right back.
Gomez even there?
I think he may be, by the sounds of it. Colin Cross-Amano. Oh, good. Inno hype. Trippier is injured. Fantastic. So, do you know what? Let's play the other right back at left back.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But Colin...
Or you could play Wharton at left back, because Wharton, when he came through the Crystal Palace Academy, the Blackburn Academy, when Wharton came through the Blackburn Academy, he played left back. So Wharton can play there.
Big up, Lee, brother. Always a pleasure to see you, my man. I hope you're good and well. Colin Cross-Amano said something in your channel yesterday, Ben,
yeah.
So when we're talking about music and everything. Boy, has he come up with here we go. Ben?
You can't drop England's best striker. What you do is you play someone next to him that allows him to play better. I would play 2 up top. I would consider playing 2 up top. I'd play him with Ollie Watkins. I'd drop one of the number 10s and allow Harry Kane to drop deep and still have that focal point. That's what I would do.
Mate, do you know what? I honestly...
3-5-2.
I'm going to come in for some hate here, and I see where Colin's coming from. And you know what? If you say, and this is what I've said before if you're having a bad game, and it's one of the reasons I will give Ange Postecoglou, and I'm going to reference this to Spurs, I will give Ange a lot of credit. When Son, our captain, is having a bad game, he'll hook him off. He'll be like, fuck this. Just because you're the captain, you're coming off. I'm not saying he should be dropped, but it has to be. There is a discussion.
I'd play 3-5-2. I'd play.
Yeah, but like Eddie's just said, Ben, that's what we would do. Like we say with Ange Postecoglou, I'd like him to drop back, or I'd like him to do it. They're not going to do it.
It's ridiculous.
And you look at it. What Kane has had to drop deep to get in touch with the ball. Kane has had to do a load of stuff. He's got a point there.
You got a point, Colin.
We've got to the point where the way we're playing has not suited England. We've needed a runner. We've needed someone up. Is it time to give Ollie Watkins? Listen, it's not going to happen in a million years. But I totally get where Colin's coming from. If you're not playing well, and you're in a run of games, and Ronnie's right. Remember this. He had a back injury towards the end of last season. Yeah. Even more so, why we should have given him a rest during these group games.
Yeah.
So he's ready. Just like he shouldn't have started the Champions League final because he wasn't ready. We have to protect him.
3-5-2. You have Guehi and you have Stones and you have Walker as the right centre back, like he was playing last Euros when he was playing really, really well, and he was playing well in that position. You have Wharton as the left wing back because he plays as left wing but can also play left back. I'll play Trent Alexander-Arnold as your right wing back. So you have Trent in the team. You have a midfield three of Rice, Bellingham, and Foden, and you play Kane and Watkins up top. That's the most balanced team.
Yep.
It works.
And I have to say, just because Ryan's in here and he missed out on the Gallagher hate, let's just make Ryan feel part of this and see how much we all appreciate Gallagher. Yes or no, people? Would you start Gallagher against Holland or whoever?
The Netherlands.
Maybe. The Netherlands.
Yeah,
I've
the
got
Netherlands.
to stop doing that. Just simply, no, I wouldn't play Gallagher. Yes, I would play Gallagher. Just to make Ryan feel part of it. Because, I don't want to see Gallagher. Here we go. Oh, you put no. Tottenham Montora put no. Tony has said no. Tom 81 has said no. Chris Agambar has said no. Tottenham Montora spamming the chat. I won't block it. I'll put you in a timeout, Ben. Brian Dagul off form. He scored 50. I'm not saying off form for bloody German Bayern Munich. I'm saying England. I'm saying England. He need to listen. Like I said, I'll take the hate if it comes my way. I look at it as well that game management needs to be done.
Yeah.
We knew we'd qualified for the next round, regardless of this time. Was it time to say, Kane, listen, you're carrying a knock. We've been struggling. Have a rest. Come back fresh for the knockout stages. So it's a conversation. I'm not saying
No
listen.
one's argued about my team, Brian, that I would play my 3-5-2.
And I have to say, I hope Ryan is still in the chat because, he's watching it on playback where he can see the comments. Because Ryan, not one single person in the 206 that are watching have said yes, I would play Conor Gallagher. Apart from Colin, who I think is I don't know if he's talking about the Kane situation we're talking about or his Welsh bias is coming out. It's like, yes. Again, Stuart, do not disagree with you that Southgate is the problem. But the whole thing we take a squad for is to utilise the squad and game management. And could Harry Kane do with a rest? Could Harry Kane do with not playing the 90 minutes and not getting service? Go look at the amount of touches Harry Kane is having. Harry, there's a photo going around where we're in the second half, 0-0 against goddamn Slovenia, and Harry Kane is back in between the midfield and defence. Yeah. Trying to get up. This is not what we want Harry Kane to be doing. This is not where it's needed, and this is why you take a squad. You've got to.
That's comment of the day.
Yeah, I've just seen that. Yeah, it's true. But listen, it is what it is. But on that note, we are going to wrap up. I just want to remove that prick's name so we can say. So Ben, very quickly before we go, what have you got coming up on your channel?
We will be going live at 3:30 for the Brewing Bollocks podcast with myself, the Kauff, the Kang, Bobby K, and of course Cooper99. Brewing Bollocks is a go, go, go. We're going to have some wonderful games like we usually do. Karen and Darren, we're trying to get the coffee company to 700 subscribers. That would really help me out for all the people that have been new today. If you want a laugh and a bit of banter, head over to the coffee company for 3:30. It's going to be a good time. We always like to have a laugh, and it's a good time. It's going to be a good time like it always is, and we'd love to get that channel to 700 because it is Tottenham on Tour's second channel.
It is.
It's part of the umbrella. So it would really help us if you got us closer to 700.
It is. And I just want to say, people like Tony Bones and others that I've seen active in the chat today who may watch us but not have been active in the chat. It's great to see new people coming and watching the channel. As I said, please, guys, if you can, just give us a like if you can and a subscribe if you haven't already. We have got a lot of stuff coming your way. Yeah. Some big things already about to be rubber stamped. Not going to say anything just yet. Just keep your eye on the channel. Some really good things are coming up. We will be back. And I have to say, Philly saying that, I've been speaking to Philly all day on voice notes because he's learned to use voice notes. Yeah. Like I do, like my life revolves around voice notes. I was listening to one of his voice notes and all of a sudden the He-Man Powers of the Universe by the Powers of Grayskull came on. Is the greatest interruption to a voice note I've ever heard. Yeah. But just to say, Tottenham on Tour will be back at 6 p.m. UK time to talk all things Tottenham on Evening Brews, including our brilliant award we've won, transfer rumours, everything going on. So please come back and join me and Danny at 6 p.m. UK time for Evening Brews. Ben, get ready to play the song when we go. So
Take it
away, Ben. Take it away.
I'm ready. Thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, if you smell what the Kauff is brewing, take it away, Aki.
And as always, Levy out.
Southgate out.